I was 13, I got my first phone. It was something that I was always super excited about and something that I had been looking forward to. So when I got it, it was something that I had built up in my mind to be this amazing thing that would make me feel so happy and so fulfilled. And so because of that, I kept on using it and using it more, and gradually, without me even knowing it, it became this thing that was just instinct. Whenever I had free time, I would grab it. Waking up, I would immediately grab my phone and check Instagram. Or after school, I would go home, shut myself in my room, and just be on there for hours without doing homework. The problem was gradually it just became a part of me without me even realizing it. When I didn't have my phone, I felt uncomfortable and I felt, not at ease because I always needed it with me. It was something that if I was at the dinner table and my mom would say, "Nora, you have to put your phone away," I would always get easily annoyed or irritated because I just wanted to be on it, and it was something that was too important to me. And after time, it became a point where there was two areas where I realized it really affected me. And first of all, that was through my beliefs. I was already a lukewarm Christian. I'd grown up in the church, but it wasn't something that I really lived out and did on my own. And so seeing things on my phone and hearing the beliefs of today's culture and what they think, it made me think, oh, maybe that's not such a terrible thing to believe, or that makes sense, I guess. And slowly that was something that just came into my mind, or the music that everyone listens to. And I would start listening to that, even though it's something that I would have never listened to on my own if I'd never had social media or I never had my phone. And so that was the first way that I feel my phone really affected me in a negative way. And the second way was through my relationships. I had really good friends that I'd been friends with for forever, and all of a sudden I'm gravitating away from them and towards people I never thought I would become friends with, and people that I really naturally didn't click with. And I think that was another thing, is they would influence me to do things that I never would have done in the first place if it weren't for them. There were people in my life that were doing better than me, that looked prettier than me, that were accomplishing more things than me, that I just didn't have the motivation to try and be better and to do better because I just felt hopeless. And other people in my life could see that through, after a certain amount of time, people realized that I was changing and it wasn't for the better. Technology and things affected me was through my relationship with people, like I said, and it was through my parents a lot as well. We would get in fights all the time about silly things, and I was grumpy all the time and just kind of moping around everywhere because of my phone and because of what I was seeing and because of what I was, living through secondhandedly. And so I was pretty down, and I would even call it depression, because it was this feeling of, oh, when this happens, I'll be fulfilled. But I was never filled with anything. It was always this, I'm never going to get where I wanted to be because I hadn't reached my full potential. And it took all those fights with my parents, and one in particular was just both of our breaking points. We were, yelling at each other, and, I was bawling my eyes out, and my dad, he looks at me dead in the eyes. He's like, "Nora, I'm taking your phone away. This isn't good for you. It's not helping you in any way. It's harming you." And I remember one thing that he said was, "I'm doing this because I love you and because I care for you and because, this is important." And I was thinking to myself, love me? I need this. This is important to me. If you really loved me, you wouldn't take this away. You wouldn't do this to me. I remember thinking to myself, my relationship with my parents will never be the same, and I'm never gonna communicate with them again. This is just gonna be complete silence until I move out, and then I can finally do whatever I want. It's really funny because without my parents telling me that I needed to grow away from these friends and start doing this and start doing that, I just naturally did it. I started gradually falling out of friendship with those people that I thought were my friends and thought wanted the best for me, and coming back into relationship with the people that really, truly wanted the best for me and helped me grow in my faith, and getting back into devotions and really paying attention to sermons on Sunday. And I started volunteering at my church and helping with cute little first and second graders, and that was also really helpful because it showed me, again, the basics of Christianity and what it's really about. And I think that was something that was really important for me. And so without having, you know, social media in your ear telling you like, this is what you should believe, this is what, you know, this is what life really is. Taking that out of the equation and really like discovering that for yourself is really important, and doing that in a good community with people who support you. And it's funny because, like I said earlier, thinking like my relationship with my parents will never be the same. Like, you're right, because it was even better. I grew closer with my parents than I've been closer. I'm closer with them now than I ever have been. And same with my friends. Your parents really do want the best for you, and they really want you to succeed in life. And when they take things away, sure, in the moment you're gonna be mad and you're gonna be frustrated, but it's important to realize that like that's a temporary thing. And I only lost my phone for maybe 4 or 5 months, but through that short amount of time, like it was like a complete reset. I was a completely different person by the end of it. And once I got my phone back, it's realizing, okay, this is a serious thing and I need to be careful with it, and I need to realize what it did to me so it doesn't do that same thing to me again. My dad always loves to say, you know, what you feed grows and what you starve dies. We all have our breaking points and we all escape into things, but it's important that you realize that you're escaping into it and it's not something that's just second nature to you. That was something that I needed to realize, is like, it wasn't healthy for me to go to my phone all the time. Like, that wasn't a good thing for me. I easily threw away all of the biblical values that I had before. And so having to relearn those biblical values and, you know, think to myself, this is the truth. This is what I need to believe, and that's what God wants from me. God doesn't want me to believe all of these things that, you know, social media was telling me and that, you know, my friends were telling me, because that's not what was truth. That's what they thought was truth, and what was really just opinion. And I'm a teenager, but I know that a lot of parents and adults struggle with technology too, and it's important to realize that technology can lie to you about who you are and about what you can do. One thing that I realized was I was putting myself in a box and thinking that I couldn't do anything, like I couldn't get better, I couldn't be better. And taking technology out of the equation helped me realize that I was holding myself back. And I think it's important that other people realize that you can do so much. You are so important, and you can do so many things in your life. And having your value in God and having your value in your friendships and all of that instead of in technology is so important. Making sure that you're not rooted in your technology and in your social media, and instead are rooted in God and what He says about you.